Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
I am Vitality Coach Jen Birchfield, and I am here with Dr. Liz Winders, who is a phenomenal energy healer.
Mm.
We wanted to share with you a little bit about Dr. Liz and why she became an energy healer and what makes her so amazing, so that you can feel like you know her a little bit before you connect. So, are you ready to share, Dr. Liz?
I think I am. Shoot
Okay.
some
Awesome.
questions at me.
All right. So I know that you are currently practicing as a psychologist, but you are a psychologist by education and trade, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Or first trade. So tell us why you became a psychologist.
Um, there really wasn't ever an option for me to do anything else. It was before I even knew what a psychologist was. Um, there's a funny story. I don't have this memory, but my dear childhood friend has this memory of us sitting under a tree at her house. And she said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I apparently told her I want to be a psychologist. And there were no psychologists in my family, like nobody was seeing one. I don't know how I knew that, but I knew it. Um, I think I've always been fascinated in people and
Mm.
relationships and why people do what they do. And I think on a deeper level, I've been really interested in what makes people, how suffering makes people behave and
Ah,
unpacking that to the root of the suffering where it began.
So deep desire to resonate or to understand people.
Yes, absolutely. Like I was reading books about personality disorders and dissociative identity disorders when I was like too young to be reading them, like 10 years old and things like that.
Wow.
I would just go to the library and somehow find these books and be consumed with them. They were so interesting to me.
Wow. So I know some of your work focused on trauma, and obviously that's so connected with that, wanting to understand suffering.
Yeah.
Why did you focus on trauma?
Um, so in the beginning of my training, I actually focused on forensics. Again, because I thought it was super interesting and I had read, like Stephen King books and things like that. And then I realized that was not the path that I wanted to go down. Career wise, I couldn't see myself working in a prison or even like I worked in a forensic private practice when I was in grad school. And so I had a client at our school clinic,
Hmm.
and she was severely traumatized. I won't go into the details, but had lost custody of her daughter, was borderline like almost homeless. And I worked through this protocol with my then supervisor and watched her transform her life from this work and being able to tolerate the pain of what had happened to her. And she
Wow.
gained her daughter back and was able to become employed. And it was just such a beautiful experience. I felt entirely vigorated, opened up, and expansive from just assisting this woman on her journey. And I was like, that's what I need to do.
That's amazing. That's so amazing that you landed in that experience and had that early hit of what it felt like to be in your calling.
Yeah. I mean, and I was young,
Mhm.
and also sort of like in the midst of like, well, I don't want to do this forensics thing, but I've like started a dissertation on it and I've done all of these practicum experiences and I had to pivot big time. But I needed that this isn't me to be able to know like what lit me up, what gave me so much fulfillment, and joy. And
Yeah.
then I did my residency at a VA hospital on a military sexual trauma unit. So there was all
Wow.
kinds of trauma experiences that I took a very deep dive into and had
Wow.
excellent training.
That had to have been super intense,
It was. It was very intense.
and still the sense of calling.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That says a lot. That says a lot. So then how, um, you know, after years of practicing as a psychologist, how did this transition into energy work show up?
Sure. So I experienced my own trauma with the birth of my daughter
Mhm.
and had a form of postpartum PTSD, even though I was definitely in denial for a while. I mean, my husband was trying to get me to see it, and I just couldn't.
Wow.
Um, but eventually I landed myself in, the best of the best therapy practices and really tried to face and deal and just kind of felt underwhelmed,
Mm.
and kept having this internal drive of there's got to be something better. There's got to be something better. I know I deserve to feel better. I deserve to heal. And it felt like there was a piece that was missing. So I started looking at alternative medicine, which wasn't too far of a stretch for me.
Mhm.
When I practiced as a psychologist, I was known as sort of the mind body alternative medicine psychologist, and I did tapping and I practiced yoga with my clients, and um, I used essential oils and things like that to include mind body. So, on my journey, I
Mhm.
saw just about every single energy healing practitioner you could ever imagine in the area. Anything that came my way, I was like, sure, I'll try it. Sure, I'll try it. Sure, I'll try it. And they were all okay. And I think they probably assisted in like peeling a layer off, but nothing really got me like,
Mhm.
whoa, oh my gosh, there's something to this, until I tried an emotion code session with a woman. Emotion code and body code are the foundation of the work that I do. And I saw an interview with Dr. Brad Nelson, who created the technique. And I was like, I've never heard of that. Let me look it up, right?
Okay.
I looked it up. There wasn't anybody in town who did it. The closest person was in Asheville. And so I thought, well, I'll do a phone session, which felt a little weird to me. How are they going to work on me across the phone line? Right.
Yes.
But again, I was willing to do anything because I deserve to feel better. I tried it and I felt great. And I scheduled another session a week later, or maybe 2 weeks later. And after that, had just a profound shift in the way that I experienced myself, my ability to tolerate
Wow.
stress, my ability to sleep, my ability to be within my body. I lost weight. Like big things happened, and I just couldn't deny it. So I immediately got certified, like maybe the fastest anybody's ever got certified. I did it so quick,
Wow.
probably in 30 days.
So you had another big intuitive hit of like, this is what I have to do. This is where I have to be fully in alignment. And you just jumped in with 2 feet.
I did. And at that point, I really wasn't thinking of leaving psychology or my therapy practice. It just sort of was in the background, and I knew I had to do these other things. As soon as I finished emotion code training, I began body code training, which is like your level 2. That took me a lot longer. It's much more intense. It probably took me 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
During that time, I was applying these techniques to my therapy clients that were open and willing and interested. And I watched them heal dramatically faster than they had with, my evidence-based therapy practices.
Yeah.
And again, I was just like lit up and entirely disinterested in doing traditional therapy practices. So came to this point where I had to make a decision, one or the other.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I chose to let my therapy practice go.
That had to be a huge decision.
It was massive. I mean, I had friends from graduate school that were like, "You're doing what?" My dad was like, "You still have student loans?" Like there was some finger wagging. Are you sure you want to do this? Um, but I did. I had to do that for my own ability to be um, fulfilling my soul's purpose.
Yes. Yes. Like when you just know and you can't ignore the major resonance of this massive occurrence.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, um, what do you love about being a emotion code and body code healer?
Um, I love witnessing miraculous healing occurring. And it still surprises me, from pain in somebody's body that's been there for 20 years,
Mhm.
or a habit that someone hasn't been able to break, um, or just being like the missing puzzle piece to somebody's healing journey. They've done therapy, they may have done meds, they may have done some other forms of treatment, and they step in and get this final missing piece, and they're able to fully bring, their self into life, into what their purpose is, what their mission is, and be themselves. It's it's amazing. It's so exciting. Like, I am kind of that annoying person after a day at work. I come home and I'm like, I had the best day.
Yeah, I can
I
see it on your
love my
face.
job.
I can see how much it lights you up, and that's so cool. That's cool. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in the space of being healed by somebody who is that excited about the work that they're doing?
Yeah, I love it. I love it
That's
so much.
awesome. That's awesome. So you said that you had an experience with pregnancy. So you're a mom.
Yes. Mhm. I've got a
Tell us
9-year-old daughter.
9-year-old daughter. Okay. What's your favorite thing about being a mama?
Oh man. My daughter has, not only did she, rip me open and cause my absolute awakening into life. She is the reason that I'm sitting here on this call with you, that I am living my purpose. But she is also, like, soul family. We
Mm.
can connect in this way that is magical, and my desire to show up for her and be, the best mama I can be, is a powerful motivator in my life.
Mm.
She's my light for sure.
That is so lovely. That is so lovely. That's an experience you and I share. So
Mhm.
I can see it on your face too, this thing, this source of light within you. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. So what makes you what makes you laugh or have joy, or, how do we see your lighter side?
Let's see. What is my lighter side? I mean, of course I love playing with my daughter.
Uh-huh.
We we enjoy lots of snuggle time. Currently, my family is reading Harry Potter. And so in the
Nice.
evening times, my husband reads out loud to us. We're on book 5 right now, which is a little bit darker than I like, but we get on the couch and my daughter sits on my lap and we snuggle, even though she's like a big 9-year-old. And my husband reads to us, and it's a great family bonding time.
That's
Otherwise, I love
lovely.
to be outside. I'm kind of a nut about cats. One of my cats in particular gets really special attention from me.
What's the cat's name that gets special attention from you?
Her Fluffy Muffin.
Sir Fluffy Muffin. I mean, how can that not bring you joy?
I know, he's royal.
Awesome. Well, crazy cat lady, outdoor enthusiast, mother extraordinaire, and I will personally testify, energy healer extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz, for sharing your time with us. Is there anything else you want us to know about you?
Mm, I don't think so.
It's a
Think
good
that's
start.
good. Yes. Yeah.
Well, if you
Thank you.
do want to know more about Dr. Liz, uh, her contact information is in the comments.
Yeah.
And you can always schedule a 15-minute appointment to learn more about her amazing practice.
Yes. Thanks,
Thank
love.
you so much. Bye.